Hey, it's Coach Jamila, and I just wanted to share with you how I lost the baby weight. Now, I had my first son at 37, and I had my second son at 39. I'm now 40. And what I have done, because as you know, the older you get, the more challenging it can become to get the weight off. It can happen, but you know, that bounce back effect that seems to happen a lot more quickly when you're like 20 or even in your early 30s. Well, it seems like the older you get, the harder it is to bounce back. So how did I bounce back? Well, I would say probably around when he was around 6 months is when I really got focused, on working out again. And I started off slowly, started doing a program that incorporated like Pilates, because I came out the gate trying to do some hardcore cardio, and it was like, boom, I didn't realize how much I was out of shape. So had to start a little bit slower. But I was working out kind of off and on. But then finally, come July, and we're now in December, in July, since I've had the baby, I put together my first 60-day fitness experience group because as a coach, how I've started my coaching business was a fitness coach. And so I have coached women in groups, throughout all these years. I've been doing this since 2010. And I started my first group post-baby around July, and it was 60 days. And so I have been consistent since July through today. So that's about 6 months where we're at now. So how did I lose the baby weight? Very, very simple. I knew that having a baby, breastfeeding, being at home with him, I tried working out at night, like after I put him to bed, but that just wasn't working because by the end of the day, I was exhausted. And then once they're to bed, it's like you just want to do whatever you want to do. And a lot of times that's just a whole lot of nothing. Exercise is like, nope. So I knew if I really wanted to do this, I was going to have to find a time of day that worked for me. And honestly, it needed to incorporate him. So originally I started off actually using him in my workouts. And then when I got back into, when I started my group and I'm doing a full-on program and picking from a variety of programs using my online workout streaming service, then I would have him there with me working out. So one of the first things I did was I found a way to work out while my son was awake and kind of included him in the process, where he was able to play alongside me, and see what I was doing and be there with me. And it became the start of our day and start of our routine. So that was number one. I found a way to work the baby in there. The second thing I did was I said, okay, it's 7 days in a week. And a lot of the programs that I've done in the past would be like 5 or 6 days. And I'm just not going to do that. And I said, I can do 4 days a week. 4 days a week I can do. And I committed to that. And so consistently I worked out Monday through Thursday. If I happen to miss one of those days, then it would be a Friday, that I would work out. But that's only happened, I want to say, twice in 6 months where I've missed that Monday through Thursday. And I had to make that fourth day a different day other than Monday through Thursday. So every morning starts the same. Get up, we roll out of bed, I put on my workout clothes, we go down, we do my workout, I record some videos for Instagram, and then we go on with our day, okay? So, incorporated baby. Number two, committed to a specific number of days per week. Now, in my experience, because I have done programs where you work out longer, and this is the first time I've made the commitment to working out for a shorter period of time, I will have to say that 4 days per week, a minimum of 30 minutes per day, is the minimum commitment you're going to have to make if you really want to see a change or a shift in your body. Now, you can be active and be moving, which is good, but if you want to actually lose weight and change your body, then you have to be consistent about that 4 days a week. So that was that. And then the third thing that I did, of course, being a coach, was running these experience groups. That helped me stay accountable too, because I was focused on helping others. And of course, when you're taking the lead or facilitating something like that, you of course want to be an example. And then there's a synergy and an energy that comes with working with other people. And so, and also the fun part of that was, as I mentioned, with my online streaming service, I have access to over 600 workouts. And so it was a lot of fun picking different workouts for us to do every day. Throughout the 60 days, we didn't do the same workout twice, which was great. And then that rolled into, and I did 2 more groups, and that got me through. And so now the last month, I haven't had any groups going on, but the habits that I've established, I've continued. Now, in addition to working out, I am breastfeeding. And so, as you know, when you're breastfeeding, you have to consume extra calories to make up for that. And so, my whole concern when I started working out was, okay, I didn't want my milk supply to drop because, my son wasn't on solids, when I first started getting, regular working out again. And so, I was very concerned about keeping my supply up. And so, my weight loss, I wasn't like trying to do something hugely drastic. I just wanted to make small changes. So what I did was I started using a very simple app called MyFitnessPal. It's free. And I put in my calories for the day. I figured out what my caloric needs were, entered that in. I would add 500 calories for breastfeeding, and then however many calories I burned working out, I would enter that into the app, because the app has a place for you to put in exercise, and that is where I would encourage you to also put your breastfeeding. Why? Because if you search for it like under food or whatever, it doesn't calculate it correctly. So if you are going to enter breastfeeding into the MyFitnessPal app, go into exercise, create an exercise, type in breastfeeding, put down 500 calories, and you can just make up however many minutes. I did like 5 hours because I figured, well, in a full day, maybe if you were to put it all together, it'd be like 5 hours of simply just breastfeeding. But it doesn't matter the minutes. What matters is the calories. And then it will add that to your total. So then I had the total amount of calories I had for the day. Once again, my basic caloric needs, what I need to just purely function, plus the 500 for breastfeeding, plus any calories I burned during my workout. And I use a heart rate monitor when I worked out to keep track of how many calories I was burning, because that was very important for me to know. So once I had that total number of calories, I just entered my meals into MyFitnessPal. And once you do that regularly enough, then you start to know, because I eat the same thing every day for breakfast, lunch, whatever. For breakfast, I've been drinking the same thing every day for the past 8 years. It's my bad cholesterol killing superfood shake. If you want to know more about that, you can reach out to me and I'll tell you. But I've been drinking that every morning, like I said, for all these years. It gives me energy. It gives me all my nutrition that I need. And so I know how many calories that is. And then about a couple hours later, I eat something else. And that's, pretty much the same thing every day. And then from there, but what I like about MyFitnessPal is pretty much just about anything you eat is already in there. So it's very easy. It has a barcode scanner where you can just scan your meal in. So let's say you make something from scratch. You can just scan all the ingredients and just put how much of that ingredient you're putting in your recipe, and then divide it by however many servings what you're making is going to create. And then it does the math for you and gives you how many calories you have. So I just stayed under my calories. And initially, I didn't make that deficit any more than like 100 or 150, because for me, I found that when I went too low, then I actually would gain, because if you don't consume enough, your body can go into starvation mode because it thinks it's not, it's starving. And so with breastfeeding and nursing and exercising, it was just a little transition there. But eventually I got to the point where it was like, boom, where I could eat a whole lot less. And my body was like, okay, we're losing weight. And it didn't affect my supply. Okay. So that's what I did. I just stayed within my calories. And what that does when you track what you eat that way is it helps you to start to determine how certain foods affect your body. And so what I figured out was I could do like one carb, in the morning. But if I did like 2 of that same carb, I wasn't going to see much movement on the scale, even though I had it up early in the day. So how certain foods affect your body and your weight loss, you figure that out, and then you make the adjustment, and boom, you just kind of stick to it. So then it's easy. You're like, yeah, I'm just going to eat that, and I know what that is. So that's what I did. So just to review, number 1, incorporated the baby, because when you're a new mother, that's your biggest struggle, is just, especially when you're breastfeeding. And of course, if they're going through a cluster feed period or something like that, you're just going to have to roll with it. And then secondly, I committed to a minimum of 4 days a week, 30 minutes a day. And then third, I tracked what I was eating in MyFitnessPal, which is a free app, very simple, very easy. And let me tell you, if it wasn't simple and easy, I wouldn't have been doing it, okay? Because like I said, when you're a new mother, you're all over the place. You can't be doing stuff that's complicated. And finally, as those side points that I mentioned, I was facilitating those groups. I was having fun and variety, picking out my workouts, and I'm still doing all of those things. So the key point of how I got the weight off, consistency. That's it. I developed a plan and I stuck with it. And I kept myself accountable. Most people can do a crash diet, can go gung-ho into exercise and drop weight with no issue. So the problem is not losing the weight, it's keeping it off. And that goes directly back to being consistent and creating a regimen or a program that is doable and consistent with your lifestyle, something that you're going to be able to continue doing long term. And so you can do something that's quick and easy that'll get the weight off, but you better have a backup plan of something that you're going to be doing forever to help you maintain those results. So my philosophy is just do what you're going to do and continue doing that versus doing something crazy and then trying to come up with something else and moving forward. If you just do what you're supposed to do and you stick with it and you stay consistent, not only are you going to get results, but you won't backslide. You'll just keep making progress. You'll keep moving forward, and it won't feel like some huge, drastic life change or shift because you just, 4 days a week, 30 minutes, I can do that. Staying in my calories, I can do that. And I'm going to tell you this, breastfeeding makes it a lot easier because having an extra 500 calories is a whole lot nicer than the 1,200 I probably would only be able to eat if I wasn't breastfeeding. So I'm not looking forward to when I stop nursing my son. I'm going for 2 years. And if he goes beyond that, I'm cool with that too. I'm like, Mama's trying to get back into some size 2 jeans, right? So anyway, that's how I got the weight off. So my advice to you is if you've just had a baby, first of all, don't worry about your weight initially. Give yourself time to enjoy your baby. Just live, breathe that beautiful child. Your body has just done the most magnificent thing it could ever do. The hardest thing your body's ever going to do is create another human. You have to recover from that. And you need to give your baby time with you to adjust, because, they get to a certain age and then they kind of have a routine, which I would say is, closer to like 5 or 6 months. So give yourself between 4 and 6 months and then, begin focusing on yourself and getting back to, thinking about, okay, well, now I'm ready to get the baby weight off. And then, like I said, determine how many days you can work out a week. Be reasonable. Do what you can. Don't try to push yourself to do something that you're going to just do it and then drop off and then feel guilty about it and then do nothing at all. Don't do that. What can you reasonably do? And for some, that may only be 3 days. Well, guess what? 3 days is better than nothing. Yes, I say 4 is the minimum that I recommend. However, if you can only do 3, I'd rather you do 3 than none, because then you're not going anywhere. So figure out what you want that schedule to be and stick with it. And that's it. And just be consistent. Now, if getting started is a struggle for you, if being consistent is a struggle for you, if having no accountability is why you're unable to be consistent, then I want to tell you I have a 90-day program. It's my Transform and Upgrade program. If you're wanting to lose weight, learn how to eat in a way that you're not incorporating self-deprivation, but you're really eating in a way that long-term is going to allow you to lose weight. Also, if you're wanting to change your mindset, get rid of those inner limiting beliefs that aren't just affecting your weight loss, but just all the, areas of your life, then that is what this program can solve for you. So again, if you are looking to lose weight physically and lose weight mentally with some of your mental baggage, then DM me or visit my Instagram, or you can visit my website at coachjamila.com and actually do that. Visit me at coachjamila.com, fill out the contact me form, and I'll reach out to you and we can schedule a time to talk over the phone about your goals, and I can give you some additional details. Also, even if you're not interested in that, please still go over to coachjamila.com and subscribe so you can get my free PDF on how to get what you want. It's my signature 6-step process on how to get what you want out of life, whether it's a new relationship, whatever it is. This is the process that I've used personally to get some great things in my life. And so I'm sharing it with you for free. Like I said, just go to coachjamila.com, scroll down, you'll see subscribe, just put in your email, and I'll get that PDF over to you ASAP. And if you have any questions about anything that I've discussed here, please feel free to leave it in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, because I'll be posting regular videos, and I want you to, be able to see those in your YouTube newsfeed and whatnot. And I want to thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you here again soon.